If we have this amount of United States dollars in debt being held by some private cryptocurrency companies, couldn't that pose a threat? Because just like how these cryptocurrency companies are now legally required to hold the United States dollar, if something happened to these companies, if they stopped, if they started dumping the dollar, couldn't that collapse the dollar? Well, here's what you have to understand. These stablecoin companies like Tether and Circle, they're not banks, so they're not regulated the way that banks are. They're not a part of the United States government. They're not federal. They are these private cryptocurrency companies. And not just that, they're also extremely profitable. Tether is one of the most profitable companies in the world. And because they're global companies, not United States companies, they're also regulated not in the United States. Here's why that's so important. You've heard me say this multiple times on my YouTube channel, that the Federal Reserve Bank is not a bank, it's not a reserve, and it's not federal. It says so on its website. And a lot of people have had issue with the Federal Reserve Bank being a private organization, but it's still kind of oversaw by the United States government. Well, now we have truly entered a space where we are privatizing the money creation process. Because now the money creation process and this lending is happening not by the Federal Reserve Bank so much, but by these private cryptocurrency companies. So we are truly moving into a private money creation process. And the concern is what happens if things go wrong? Because we've seen things go wrong with stablecoin companies in the past. In 2022, do you remember Terra Luna, where $60 billion worth of value just essentially vanished in a matter of 3 days? Now, yes, that was different than here because it wasn't backed by the United States Treasury, but you can start to see the concerns that if something would go wrong, that now has an impact not just for that private company and the holders of the stablecoins, but now it can impact the entire United States economy, the entire United States dollar, and the entire global reserve. Now, if you're wondering how these cryptocurrencies make so much money, the way that it works is you go out and you buy these stablecoins at a company like Tether. They take your $100 and then they go out and they buy this United States debt. The government's then going to pay them, let's just say 4% a year in interest, and then they're going to issue you a United States dollar-backed cryptocurrency. So you give them $100, they lend that money to the United States government, the government then pays Tether 4% a year, and then they're going to give you 100 of these stable coins. So they generate interest on every dollar that they have in stable coins, and that's how they've become wealthy. This is why your financial education is so important, because the Genius Act is signed into law, but the implementation rules are going to go into effect in January of 2027. And you bet that this is going to create investment opportunities. Now, I can't tell you what to invest in. Investing has risks. You're never guaranteed to make money when you invest. In fact, you will lose money at some point, so make sure you always do your own due diligence and never blindly trust a random guy on YouTube. But this is why I want you to keep investing in your financial education. Again, I have a free investing masterclass for you down in the description, because if you can understand where money is moving, that's how investment opportunities are found. So what we talked about in this video is that the United States government has signed something called the Genius Act into law. And the reason why this matters is because the United States dollar ultimately depends on value and trust and belief that it has value. Well, in 1944, the United States dollar then became the world's reserve currency, and the reason why it was so valuable then, besides just being the world's reserve currency, is because it was also backed by physical gold. We couldn't just print more dollars because we needed more gold to justify that money printing. Well, that went on between 1944 to 1971, and then that ended in 1971. Now the concern became, if the dollar is not backed by gold, how will people have trust in the value? In 1974, then the United States made a deal with Saudi Arabia to then build something called the petrodollar agreement, which said that all oil around the world would be purchased and sold with the United States dollar. This then brought new value to the United States dollar because it was indirectly backed by oil. Well, then things started to change in 2023. Why? Because Saudi Arabia, the same country that built the petrodollar agreement, then started selling oil, not in the dollar, but in the Chinese yuan. And then people started to have more concerns about the dollar. We started to see more concerns about inflation. What is that going to mean for this value and trust of the United States dollar? And now here we are in 2026 talking about the crypto dollar. What does this mean? Well, remember, the United States government generates tax dollars and then they spend tax dollars. And we have this deficit. In 2026, it's about a $2 trillion deficit that we're going to spend about $2 trillion that we don't have. Well, where is the government going to make up this deficit? That's debt. In order to entice people or countries or anyone to lend money to the United States government, they have to believe that it has value. And this is what we've seen happen is that some foreign countries like China and Japan are not buying United States debt the way that they did before. And we also have concerns about some private people saying, I don't want to lend money to the government the way that they did before because of concerns about inflation and the dollar and other things like that. Well, that could be a problem if we don't have enough buyers of this United States debt. And this is where the United States government is proposing a new solution. They've already passed a law which says that now these stablecoin companies will be required to hold this United States debt for every stablecoin that's issued. You are required by law to own this United States dollars. Well, now these stablecoins are being used all around the world. And these stablecoins, while they make it easier for people to transact, now give more faith and value to the United States dollar because now these private stablecoin companies are required by law to own these United States dollars. And we've already started to see the impact of that. Some stablecoin companies own more United States dollars than many countries around the world. Well, it looks like this is going to be accelerating because according to the Treasury Secretary, he says that by 2030, these crypto companies are going to own about $3.7 trillion worth of United States debt. You can compare that to Japan, who today is the largest foreign owner of United States debt, and they own something like $1.2 trillion worth of debt. So it's anticipated that these crypto companies are really going to ramp up their ownership of this United States debt. Why does that matter? Because if there are many lenders to the United States government, that continues to give value to the United States dollar. So if countries and people around the world are using this stablecoin backed by the dollar, that means that your paycheck has more value, your savings have more value, and you become more wealthy because the world is using these stablecoins. But it also comes with some risk because we've seen stablecoin companies not do well in the past. Of course, they were different than the stablecoin companies I'm talking about today, but we are really entering a phase where if this continues, we are entering a phase where money creation and the United States debt is now being completely privatized, owned by private companies, not like the Federal Reserve Bank private, but I mean actually private. And that poses concerns, of course, because if something bad were to happen, that not only hurts the United States economy, the United States stock market, but it can hurt the value of the United States dollar and the global reserve system. That's why you want to pay attention to this. But you bet it's going to change money, it's going to change how investment opportunities move, because if there is more lenders to the United States government, well, that could change interest rates. If there's more lenders to the United States government, that could bring interest rates down. That could bring mortgage rates down. That could bring car loan rates down. That could bring business rates down, which could help boost the United States economy and the United States stock market. That's why you want to understand how this works. This could change how people view cryptocurrency and cryptocurrency companies in the United States, which could create investment opportunities. This could change the way the United States economy works, which could change and create new investment opportunities. Anytime changes happen in the economy, it always creates new and unique investment opportunities. Again, we don't know what's going to happen in the future, but your job is to be a financially savvy investor and understand where money is moving. That way we can understand how it could create potential investment opportunities. If you enjoyed this clip and you want to continue your financial education journey, I have another video that I think you'll love. All you got to do is click that button right over there. And for those of you who want to stay up to date on the top finance and business news, you can join Market Briefs, my free financial newsletter, by clicking that button below. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.